This is Luffy, a 17-year-old kid. Luffy isn't the brightest or the biggest, but he has a lot of heart and wants to become the king of the pirates. But wait, what does that even mean? Well, it means that he needs to find the One Piece, which is some kind of treasure that's hidden somewhere, probably. I mean, the previous pirate king said that it exists, so I guess it does? Anyway, Luffy sets out to sea with no plan and soon finds himself trapped in a barrel on the enemy ship. This ship belongs to Alvida, aka the big strong pirate. Nah, I'm kidding. She's pretty weak, and Luffy sends her flying with his rubber powers. Oh yeah, Luffy is a rubber man and he can't swim because he ate some kind of weird, disgusting fruit when he was a child. I'm sure we'll get an explanation as to what these things are soon. Luffy befriends Alvida's cabin boy, Kobe, who ironically wants to join the Marines, aka the bad evil guys who chase, imprison, and kill pirates. Wait, doesn't that make Marines good guys? Shut up. They arrive at Shell's Town and meet Zoro, the notorious pirate hunter, tied to a pole. Wow, you're so cool, you should join my crew. You know I hunt pirates, right? I'm a pirate hunter. Welcome to the crew, you're vice captain. Zoro and Luffy leave the town on a boat while Kobe stays behind to become a Marine, and he gets trained by a mysterious, very durable old guy. Remember him, he'll be important later. Anyway, Zoro and Luffy aren't the best with directions, so on the next island, they ask Nami to join the crew as a navigator. Join my crew. I hate pirates. I need a navigator. No, please, no. She eventually goes with them. But now the crew needs a sniper, and on the next island, they meet Usopp. So you're good at shooting stuff? Yeah. What kind of gun do you use? Slingshot? You're in. Oh, also, Usopp's girlfriend is rich, so she gives them the ship after they save her from the bad guys. The crew goes to a restaurant and meets Sanji. He's pretty strong and his food is delicious. Sanji becomes the crew's cook, but the big bad guy arrives. His name is Mihawk. He is the world's strongest swordsman, pretty scary. I am Roronoa Zoro, and I must defeat you. I really don't think that. Fight me! Zoro gets cut and barely survives. But that's not the worst part, because Nami also betrays them and steals all of their loot. She's actually working for the strongest pirate in the region, the fishman Arlong, who took over her entire village. So our crew decides to go over there, beat the crap out of Arlong, and recruit Nami once again. The crew now enters the Grand Line, which is the most dangerous part of the sea where the One Piece is. It's there somewhere, probably. The mustache guy said so. Anyway, Nami falls ill, which makes the crew realize they need a doctor. Conveniently, the nearby Drum Island is home to Chopper, an excellent doctor. Chopper is very sad and feels like an outsider wherever he goes. I wonder why a talking 2'11" reindeer who can transform into a monster would feel like this. However, there's no problem because the crew is literally made out of freaks, so they accept him as one of them. One more thing you should know by now is the existence of Warlords of the Sea, 7 strong pirates who assist the world government, but in return can do some bad things without getting a wanted letter. The next destination for the Straw Hats is Alabasta, and this arc is pretty much like Dune, but without giant worms or the plot, but it's a desert. Here, the Straw Hats meet Luffy's brother Ace, who has cool fire-based abilities. Also, they help Vivi, the princess of Alabasta, free her people and defeat the evil warlord Crocodile, who's not to be confused with an actual crocodile because he doesn't look like one or have crocodile-based abilities. In fact, his powers are sand-based. Though he does keep a few crocodiles as pets in his basement, so I guess that's where he got the name? Crocodile kicks Luffy's ass a few times until he doesn't anymore, and Luffy wins. They also defeat Crocodile's team and even recruit one of them called Robin, who's a brilliant archaeologist and wants to find the poneglyphs, hidden ancient messages that tell the story of the world's mysteries. After leaving Alabasta, Luffy and his crew learn about the Sky Island and listen to this motivational pep talk about dreams from this unknown guy. Luffy doesn't like him for some reason. Uh-oh, the mysterious guy turns out to be Blackbeard and he tries to capture the Straw Hats, but they escape to Sky Island! Everything is nice up here until they realize the entire island is run by a lightning god called Enel. He's not actually a god, he just ate the lightning devil fruit. Oh, he also has Mantra, the ability to sense things which allows him to smite people anywhere on the island. After Enel is done electrocuting all of his opponents, Luffy shows up and their fight goes something like this. Million-volt attack! Huh? Billion-volt attack! Huh? Bajillion-volt attack! Okay, you done? Yeah, Luffy's rubber abilities completely negate all of Enel's lightning, so he beats up poor shocked Enel and sends him flying far away. And now on to the most important arc in the story, the Long Ring Long Land. Wait, the script for this one is missing. Ah, I'm afraid my dog ate it. What a tragedy. Guess we'll move straight to Venice then. Water 7. Going Merry is in really bad shape because of all the stupid things Straw Hats did, and now they need a replacement. Usopp is not happy about this as he sees Merry as part of the crew, so he fights Luffy about it. He loses and leaves the crew. Don't worry, he'll be back. To make matters worse, Robin is blackmailed and kidnapped by a stoned bear, skeleton bull, and musketeer. Okay. We find out they're members of secret police who have operated undercover for years in order to find the plans for Pluton, one of the 3 ancient weapons powerful enough to destroy the world. These plans are currently inside of Frankie, a Speedo-wearing cyborg, because, well, nobody will look for them there. Robin is taken to be executed as we learn that she comes from a wiped out group of people who dedicated their lives to researching history, which is a big no-no. For some reason, the agents take her to the zoo, and the crew soon arrives to rescue her. It's here that Zoro defeats a giraffe, Sanji defeats a werewolf, and Luffy defeats a leopard, who also has a pigeon on his shoulder. However, it's not over yet, as the island gets surrounded and will soon get destroyed. So, who comes to the Straw Hats' rescue? The 𝐿 But wait, who's piloting it? No one. How is that possible? The ship has the soul of its own. Oh, makes sense. After retiring 𝐿 and returning to Water 7, the crew gets a new ship called the 𝐿 made by Frankie. Think that's the end? Nah, the old guy who was training Kobe arrives, I told you to remember him, and tells the crew he's Luffy's grandfather, Garp. In need of a shipwright, Luffy asks Frankie to join the crew, but he declines. But Luffy doesn't take no for an answer, so the crew steals his Speedo and literally tortures him until he joins. Welcome, Frankie! So, you remember Blackbeard, an evil pirate who tried to catch Luffy before? Yeah, well, it turns out Ace, Luffy's brother, is looking for him. When Ace finally found him, Blackbeard was like, oh well, guess I'll just capture you instead, before beating Ace up, wrapping him in a big gift box, and sending him over to the world government just so they would give him status of a warlord. So, you know how if anything runs for long enough, it's bound to have a Halloween-themed episode? Well, in One Piece, we got a whole Halloween arc with Gecko Moria, a shadow-stealing warlord as a villain. We also meet a new Straw Hat here. His name is Brook. He's a talking skeleton who plays the violin and is a swordsman, likes panties, and has an afro. Yeah, Brook is awesome! While trying to catch Moria, Luffy stumbles upon some sketchy people in the woods, and they pretty much try to persuade him to absorb some weird shadows they've been collecting. Hey kid, look at all these shadows we have. Want some? Not really. Okay, hold him down. Luffy now becomes Shadow Luffy and wipes the floor with Moria before collapsing. But it's not over yet. Another warlord appears. His name is Kuma. He is tall, has paws, and always carries the Bible with himself. He wants to end the Straw Hats, who are all pretty much gassed out. But Zoro steps in and agrees to take all of Luffy's pain if he leaves them alone. Yeah, that's possible somehow. Now, I'd like to tell you what happened to Zoro after that. But nothing really happened. The crew arrives at 𝐵𝐸 where they learn about the worst generation, 10 successful rookie pirates who Oda decided to add last second, and for some of them, you can really tell he was in a hurry and out of ideas. Luffy and the gang stumble upon a weird guy in a spacesuit wearing an oxygen tank. Oh, and he also has a god complex. It turns out the space guy is one of the world nobles. These guys are protected by the government, and no one dares to lay a finger on them. Luffy just punched him in the face. Pretty much instantly, Admiral Kizaru flies to 𝐵𝐸 to kill Luffy, but he gets saved by the Pirate King's right-hand man, who just happened to be working as a ship mechanic on the island. However, the Bible guy Kuma is also here, and he wants to show Luffy a cool new trick he has learned. Pop, 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 pop. All Straw Hats have vanished without a trace. So that's it, right? Nah, Kuma is actually a good guy who was working with Luffy's dad, and he just teleported everyone away from the island in order to save them! Luffy wakes up on Amazon Lily, which is an island consisting entirely of women. And these women really don't like men, so we get to see a lot of really questionable scenes before he is eventually captured and presented to their queen, Boa Hancock. Oh, but it's all good since Boa immediately falls in love with Luffy and gets obsessed with him. She's 30, by the way, while Luffy is 17. But let's not think about that for now. Anyway, Luffy learns that his brother has been captured and is currently in prison waiting for execution. Luckily, Boa can help Luffy get in since she is a warlord. After hiding under Boa's clothes, because why not, Luffy sneaks into Impel Down, the scariest prison in the world! Okay, it's not that bad actually. Everyone inside is pretty weak except the warden, a huge monkey who has poison abilities. Here, Luffy meets a host of his old enemies, like that crocodile guy who isn't really a crocodile, and he even meets some new friends, like Jinbei, a shark who knows karate, and 𝐿𝐿, a man with a huge head. In the end, they all escape from the prison together after learning that Ace has already been transferred to a marine base to be executed. But don't worry, Ace is a part of Whitebeard's crew, who's the strongest man in the world, and he will soon come to save him. So how many men do we need to fight Whitebeard? All of them? Don't you think that's a bit too? And call all 3 admirals. Are you sure we need all? And call the warlords as well. How many? All of them. Yeah, pretty much every Marine in the world is here at this moment to prevent Ace from escaping. But don't worry, Whitebeard is the strongest man in the world. He can surely still save him. Wait, this is Whitebeard? Is he okay? Maybe he's still strong? Oh God. Luffy and the others are here as well, and they all team up with Whitebeard pirates to save Ace. Nobody can reach Ace because he's so high up. No worries, this guy can cut the ground and create a bridge. Luffy is so close, but he has to find a way past his grandpa Garp, and he just punches him off the bridge. Okay, that's one way to do it, I guess. Ace is saved. He now just has to run a bit more and he'll reach the escape ship. I hope he doesn't decide to turn back for no reason. Whitebeard is a coward. Whitebeard is a coward. Take it back. No. Oh, I'm gonna kick your Ace dies. Blackbeard arrives and deals the finishing blow to Whitebeard. He also steals his devil fruit. How's this possible? Don't worry, we'll definitely get an explanation soon. Luffy's childhood hero Shanks arrives to stop the war. He's a very important pirate who we know nothing about, but we'll learn more about him some other time, surely. Anyways, he makes sure Luffy is okay and everyone agrees to stop fighting after a bit of intimidation. After waking up, Luffy realizes he needs to get much stronger if he wants to continue his journey. And you know what that means? Training arc! Okay, it's not really an arc since all of it happens off screen, but you get the point. Luffy trains with Rayleigh and learns the basics of hockey, while all of his crewmates train separately and get stronger. Except for Brook. He just becomes the pop star for some reason. 2 years later, Luffy returns and joins his crew at Sabaody, where they continue their journey. Next destination, Fishman Island. It's that place where Karate Shark and Arlong are from. As usual, just as the crew arrives, the bad things start happening, and they now have to deal with the uprising. But wait, these bad guys are all pretty weak. Time for doping, I guess. Now the bad guys are really strong. Not really, they still get defeated easily. Luffy is also told by a fortune teller that he will destroy the entire Fishman Island in the future. We'll just add that to the list of things that will probably be explained soon. The crew also meets the princess of the island, Shirahoshi, but wait, something stands out about her. No, not that. She can actually control the sea beasts. She is revealed to be one of the ancient weapons, Poseidon. Oh, now is a good time to introduce the 4 emperors of the sea. They are the 4 strongest pirates in the world, and no one should ever mess with them. It's one of the Emperor's big mom calling Luffy. I hope he's nice to her. Hello? I will be the king of the pirates and I will kick your ass, you hear me? I will become the king of pirates. One Piece is my treasure. This will surely have some consequences in the future. You hear me, old hag? The next island the Straw Hats visit is Punk Hazard, an abandoned island where the government used to run experiments. The one in charge of the island now is this guy. His name is Caesar Clown. He has gas-based abilities, he's a psychopath, and is running secret experiments on children. Why? Because he wants to turn them into giant children warriors. Oh, and Law from the Worst Generation is also on the island. He's looking to find information about Doflamingo, Caesar's employer. Luffy and Law make an alliance. Their plan goes something like this. Look, our goal is to defeat Emperor Kaido, okay? But before that, we need to defeat Doflamingo, who is working for Kaido, okay? But before that, we need to capture Caesar Clown, who is working for Doflamingo, okay? This is too complicated for you, isn't it? Yeah, Caesar's not really that strong. I mean, he's a clown after all. So Luffy beats him up and captures him. On the island, they also meet Momo and Kinemon, a man and a child from Wano. It's the place where Kaido lives. And they all board a ship together and head to Dressrosa. It's the place where Doflamingo lives. Remember Alabasta arc with Crocodile? It was a nice arc, but looks like Oda liked it so much he wanted to write it again, and that's how Dressrosa was created. Another big bad warlord controlling a country and a princess who needs saving. So, how long are we gonna stay on this island? Let's see, 102 chapters, 118 episodes, probably around 2.5 years. What? Don't worry, it's only going to be a day for you. And it's one really packed day. The crew splits up, they meet dwarves, Robin goes through her little story of Gulliver, Usopp becomes God, Frankie beats up a baby, and Luffy becomes a gladiator. A little girl turns half of the crew into toys, Usopp awakens Haki, Law is killed 2 times but survives, a new admiral is introduced, and most importantly, Luffy reunites with his brother who was believed to be dead. But wait a second, if you weren't dead, then why didn't you come to Marineford to save Ace? I forgot? Luffy battles Doflamingo and transforms into Gear 4, which basically makes him fat and beats the warlord. However, the Straw Hats are forced to run from the island because the new Admiral Fujitora is after them. Thankfully, the dude is blind, so everyone gets away safely. After defeating Doflamingo, the crew makes their way to Zou. I know I joked about NES Lobby being a zoo, but Zou is an actual zoo. Zoo, get it? Anyway, on this island live minks. dogs, who are pretty much human animals. What's that? I didn't mention Zunesha? It's not that important, just a 1,000-year-old, 35-kilometer tall elephant that is carrying the island of Zoo on its back. Zo can also mean elephant in Japanese, so there's a fun fact for you. Anyway, here we learn that Sanji is actually a prince and has been taken by Big Mom to wed her daughter in a political marriage. Luffy, Nami, Chopper, and Brook head to Big Mom's territory to rescue Sanji, while the others go on Wano to prepare for battle against Kaido. Although Big Mom is pretty nasty, her territories are actually pretty nice. You have Nuts Island, Ice Island, Potato Island. Yeah, all of her territories are named after food. Big Mom holds a wedding ceremony for Sanji and her daughter, Pudding. Yeah, even her children are named after food, with a big wedding cake that she can't wait to taste. I just hope nothing happens to the kid. Of course. Big Mom is now mad, and the crew has to escape, but someone is blocking their way. This is Katakuri. He is Big Mom's strongest son. He's also the Minister of Flour, 5 meters tall, and oh, did I mention he can also see the future? Luffy stands no chance against Katakuri, and is beaten up several times. But you know what time it is now? Power up time! Snake Man unlocked. It's over now, but I can still see the future and I'm stronger than you. Look, this fight already took 23 chapters and I need to finish this arc, but that's not fair. Katakuri is defeated. Sanji makes a new cake for Big Mom that's so good it literally knocks her out, giving the Straw Hats time to escape. At the same time, royalty from around the world is holding a meeting. So, don't you guys think these warlord guys went a bit too far? What do you mean? 2 of them tried to take over countries, 2 of them betrayed us, 1 thinks he's a vampire, another thinks he's a clown, and 1 is a literal demon? Okay, get rid of him. Warlords are disbanded. The Straw Hats finally arrive on Wano. Okay, we need to be very careful now. Kaido is one of the strongest pirates in the world. Is that Kaido? Yeah, don't let him come here, you stupid fish! Luffy is brutally beaten and sent to prison. Oh look, Kid from the worst generation is also here. Why? He also thought it was a good idea to attack Kaido head on. Nice. Wow, this is happening. Big Mom is on her way to Wano to teach Luffy a lesson about crashing weddings. But she's not really a problem because Kaido's crew just throws her down the waterfall and she loses all of her memories for some reason. Okay. Luffy learns some cool techniques in prison and then decides to break out to prepare for the raid on Kaido's base. After a bit of drama and good old betrayal, Luffy eventually arrives at Rooftop and is ready to beat Kaido this time. They fight, Luffy loses, then gets up, then loses again, then gets up, then dies. Wait, what? He died? Yeah, he straight up died, but thankfully his devil fruit awakened, which gave him +1 life apparently. Oh, and also he unlocked Gear 5, which literally lets him do whatever he wants. So let me get this straight. You're now a giant, can run on air, can hold thunderbolts, can stretch anything you touch, and whatever I do to you, you will not die? Yeah, pretty much. You gotta be Kaido is defeated. Also, Kid and Law miraculously defeated Big Mom by themselves. Yeah, don't ask me how they pulled that off. But it's not over yet, as Admiral Greenbull came to the island to kill everyone while they're still recovering. Nobody can stop me! Straw Hat is mine! Okay, I'm leaving. And that's pretty much One Piece in a nutshell. Thanks for watching, bye. God, will you stop screaming already?